So cancer, it's the universal human experience. I think everyone in this room has probably had some personal effect. But imagine surviving cancer without sacrificing your quality of life. And that's exactly what Peptinovo aims to do. Because we know when you get cancer, serious things happen. And again, you know, it's the worry of what's going to happen, but it's the fear, the horror of what you have to go through. We want to change that trajectory. And we've got a targeted, smart drug delivery system that uses breakthrough nanotechnology that will improve patient survival, the holy grail. Chemotherapy, it's powerful, it works, but we know the problem is it's indiscriminate. It not only goes after the cancer, but it goes after healthy cells. And there's serious side effects that come with that. One of them that every cancer patient that you talk to will probably tell you is they get nerve damage. Nerve damage, peripheral neuropathy is what it's called. And it's basically permanent. There's no cure, there's no remedy, and it stays with you the rest of your life. Some patients can't keep getting the cancer chemotherapy treatments they need. And we know what the outcome there is. Lives are lost. Our solution is to create an HDL mimic. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's this very small nanoparticle that looks like HDL, the cancer cells, and then we take the chemotherapy and put it into that universal carrier. We could deliver many different chemotherapies, but then we trick the cancer cell. This thing looks like an HDL, but it's not. And we exploit the mechanism that all cancer cells use to grow. Every cancer cell. Today, we've all heard of HDL, you know, the friendly stuff in your blood. Well, it carries cholesterol. And there's active transporters on cancer cells that are actively seeking that HDL. Why? Because they need that cholesterol. They need that cholesterol, they break it down, release it, and they grow. Fast dividing cells need cholesterol. Cancer is a fast dividing cell. Peptinovo's innovation is we take this delivery platform, we use the nanotechnology, and we trick the cancer. We can take what proven, approved chemotherapies, we put a linker on there, and this is another clever innovation, that chemotherapy is temporarily inactive. The HDL palm is attracted to cancer cells. It takes proven, approved drugs, we insert them in, but the trick is, like others, we have a stable particle. That blue little ring is a peptide. It's spring-like. It holds all the things it needs to in place, but avoids healthy tissues. So now, just like HDL, these active transporters on all cancer cells now find palm. We trick it, but instead of delivering cholesterol, we deliver that chemo drug. It's still inactive. Once it goes in the cell, it's clipped, and then we pull the pin from the grenade, and out comes the active form of chemotherapy to destroy the cell. We trick the cancer. We use mechanisms that basically it needs. So the solution to cancer survival is PALM. Is it? The solution is PALM. So we got proof of concept complete. We can treat many different types of cancer. We've got 5 different drugs that we've already developed, and we've got safety data I'll share within a second that shows it's extremely tolerable to patients. And again, we trick the cancer cell, but HDL receptors, this SRB1, has been detected on every cancer cell studied: lung, breast, ovarian, triple negative breast cancer. But there's no HDL receptors on nerves, and there's no HDL receptor on other healthy tissues. So our value, we improve primarily the efficacy of proven, approved chemotherapeutic drugs. We unleash them to their full potential. And then we increase patient survival. That's the holy grail. Meanwhile, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to have a poor quality of life. You can live a normal life and survive cancer. So let's look at some of the early data. That's an untreated patient. That's cancer and how quick it grows. There's the standard of care. It's good. It's a drug called paclitaxel, 30 years of proven experience. Could be a little nasty though to patients. There's us with less than the paclitaxel. And now we can carry more of the drug. And we can also carry more potent drugs that could treat cancer in even more effective manners. And then, I know this is an eye chart, but think of it this way: lethality, body weight loss, red blood cells, white blood cells. We're not seeing any adverse effects at 100 times or more the dosage of standard chemotherapies. It's safe. It delivers it in a different manner. It's stable when it circulates the blood. So like I said, it avoids nerves. There's no peripheral neuropathy. But we've done extensive studies with leading neurologists at the University of Michigan to look at the actual nerve tissues of what happens. We see no denigration. We see no negative response. The mice, the rats, they're all happy. It's a seasoned team. We've got veterans that have 30 years, 40 years of experience across all disciplines: the manufacturing side, the testing side, the regulatory compliance side. And Ren Homan, our founder, he's brilliant. Hope he's listening now, but he's a cardiovascular guy who realized that if he can make these HDL mimics, he could carry drugs. True innovation. He was thinking differently than any other oncologist. He was thinking like a cardiovascular person and how he could treat cancer. And I'm here basically just to help the team get to the next level. 7 companies have been founded. We've sold 3 to big pharma. We've taken drugs from the early stage all the way to clinical and manufacturing and marketing support. So where are we? We're on track. We have we're ready to finish the IND testing at the end of this year and start first in humans by first quarter. Our target as a team is January. Of course, we need the fuel in the tank to keep that done. So funding becomes our critical path to stay on market. And we have developed a full pipeline of drugs. So we've already developed 5 chemotherapeutics. Within a short order, we could add other approved, proven chemotherapeutics. And we've got different types of actions. So paclitaxel does one thing, but others who are familiar with oncologics will see we got tubulin disruptors. We got platinum-based drugs. We got gemcitabine. We've got different organisms, different mechanisms that'll treat different forms of cancer. And so deep patent protection, we have basically coverage across the world, issued patents. We've done a freedom to operate, and we have broad coverage within our peptide sequence and how we do the prodrugs. So let's talk about the market. We start with ovarian cancer. It's an orphan class. That gives us 7 years of license exclusivity. But then we grow to paclitaxel, then we grow to other drugs, and then we could grow it to the entire market. Now, I'm not saying we have 124 billion in sales, but what I am saying is that this is very effective and it could be used for many types of cancer. The competition is something called antibody drug conjugates. They do improve some survival, and they do still suffer from off-targeted effects. So when we compare ourselves, ADC's market's super hot. Regardless of these limitations, you heard about Seagen being bought by Pfizer for $43 billion with a pipeline of products. They're about 2 years ahead, maybe 3 years ahead of Peptinovo. But when you look at this, we beat ADCs in the categories that matter. We're 1/3 the cost, and we could carry a lot more of the drug. So we're going to raise, fortunately, we're going to open up another $1 million here. We're going to raise $9 million after this, and it's going to get us to first in humans. The funding plan ultimately is all about the product, getting into patients, and then finding out where we could get a term sheet potentially. It could happen at the end of this year, but most likely we'll have a significant term sheet at the end of next year. Here's a template. So Peptide Dream doesn't have a solution, but look what the big pharma is trying to do to help them find a peptide delivery system that we already have patented and stable. So that's where we are, and we'd love to take any questions.